This is a step-by-step guide as to what the platform looks like, and you have the option to skip. I will now walk you through the portal. The first is the dashboard, which is the first thing you see. You can get your API keys, explore the API documentation, and fill the testing balance. Then you have the Help Center, and you will find articles for self-support. Now you have the mobile top-up. Here you will have two options. Either you send in top-ups anywhere in the world, so it's the generic one, or you send one to Cuba. In Cuba, they have something unique whereby if you want to top up your internet, you need to do it with an email and not a phone number. This is the reason why we have separated them. So you have the generic one, and then you have the specific one for Cuba. Then you have gift card products. Here you can see the catalog and the amount to select from. Here you have My Wallet. Here you have the option to review your balance. Here you can see if you have a credit card, a bank transfer, or if you have a coupon.
This gives you the options as to how you can refill your wallet. You can either refill it by, you click to do that, you have to click on Add a Balance. You have the options to refill your wallet, either via bank card, via the Bitcoin, or via bank transfer. Via bank transfer, you can generate a self-invoice from this part, and as to how much you want to transfer. Let's say I want to transfer 5,000 USD, and I can enter my name and company details. Next, I generate an invoice that I can print out, right? So when making the purchase, I can use these details to fill up the online transfer or the bank payment I'm about to make into Reloadly's bank account, right? The next is the bank card. The process is also easy. Select the country, select the state, enter the card number, fill up these details. Next, just follow the steps. For most cards require the 3DS, so you might be required to go through a 3DS verification process for your card, and some cards don't also require that, right? But this totally depends on the card issuer. After entering the card, you have the options to set an auto recharge. The auto recharge is an added function we have for the bank card, meaning that given that you might not really want to run out of funds, so you can set recharge my account with a given amount when your wallet gets to a defined given amount. So that will help you never to get to zero or maybe run out of funds, depending on your business model. You might not really want to post sales, right? Then the other option is the Bitcoin. Here you get to scan the barcode or copy our address and make the transfer, then share with us to the email tickets@reloadly.com. Also, the bank transfer, it's advisable that after the bank transfer, you send an email or open a ticket via tickets@reloadly.com, right?
In My Reports, here you will have detailed information about all the transactions you're making. We have reports for airtime, we have the reports for the gift cards, and also all the payment history. You can see all of the payments that you have been making remotely and receiving in your wallets. We also have records that you could trace. On the payment history, if there is any transaction initiated that was not successful, you also have a copy of it in the payment history page.
Airtime transaction reports. This will give you like a summary of all the transactions you've been making for a given period of time. You have the option to select the start date and the end date. Also, we have several filters that can help you easily streamline and get to what you're looking for, right? But for this, clicking on search, it gives you all of the airtime transactions you've been making. We also have this for the gift card as well. Doing this, you can select the start date you want, then the end date, select the filter. Let's say you just want a product, or you want a given set of emails, the gift card you've been sending to a given set of emails, or the gift cards you've been buying for a brand, or the status of the gift card, either the ones that were successful or the ones that had failed for any given reason. You can also filter by status, right? But doing that, after filling up that, you see the list of gift cards you've been buying. Then the next is the payment history. This gives you like a detail of every payment you've made to Reloadly, right? From the very first day until the last. You can also filter by dates, given that maybe you're looking for just a specific payment, or filter by the very first day you started to the last day. We will return all of the payments you've been making. Also, here on the payment history, you would be able to see not just the payments, but if there is any transaction that had failed, you are definitely going to also see it here, because Reloadly will be refunded the amount billed on your wallet. So you would also see like a history of that on this very page, right?
This is the number lookup. Here you can check which operator your phone number belongs to. This is important to know because sometimes the original telephone operator is different than you think. So always look up the number before doing a mobile top-up.
We also have the transaction reports for the number lookup. This will give you like a detailed report for all of the lookups you've done within a given period. You also have the dates and also the possibility to filter by country, phone number, and other options as well.
Then you have the pricing. Here we give you details of our pricing and what you can get as a business. We set the profits accordingly on the airtime. We have these products as well, where we detail the possible amounts, the discount, and these types of goods and the FX rate. If your account is in euros, you have to check what currency the countries use and see the exchange rate. Now the currency depends on the one you use for your account. You cannot change the currency of your account, so please make sure to add the correct one.
Here you need to either select if you're looking at the discount type by the international discount type or the local discount type. What this means is on the portal, you only have one option to send an international transaction. But via the API, you have the possibility to send the transaction like a local transaction. Then we will deduct the equivalent from your international wallet. For example, I have a USD wallet, but I want to send a top-up to, let's say, Nigeria. This will help. This gives me the discounts I get if I'm sending to Nigeria. Unfortunately, all of this is set as 0, but the FX is 1-to-1, right? Because you send in local. But that does not mean that it's 1-to-1. There will definitely be a conversion. It's 1-to-1 because if you send in 50 using the local amounts, you will be receiving 50 in Nigeria, right? But now we are going to deduct the equivalent of that 50 naira from your USD wallet. And for you to know the FX that will be applied in that, then you need to switch to the international discount type. So let's assume you've sent 1,000 naira worth of airtime. We are going to be deducting your wallet, dividing that with the rate. That gives us the exact amount we'll be deducting from your wallet, right? But it's nice to have because most people that use the portal are the business line and they might not really see the discounts or have access to the API. That's why we are exposing this as well via the API, right? So here you have possibilities to filter. by country, by operators, and by operator name, discounts. This it's like more like sorting them by the operator name, or sorting by discounts, or sorting by the FX. So all of this, we also have these options. If you want to see only the fixed amount top-ups, you also have that option to just see the fixed amount of top-ups. If you want to see the range, you have the options to only see the range products as well.
Then we have the pricing for the gift cards, and we give you a list of all of the gift card products. You can see the possible values and the discounts you get. You can also see if there's a fixed fee for some gift cards. And here you have all of the filters as well. You could filter by country or by products.
We also have the utility payments, similar to that. The view is similar to that of the airtime. You can filter by country, and it gives you like the list of billers we have in that country, and as well as the pricing.
We also have a tab for promotions for airtime. On the airtime business, some operators do have promotions, and you can see those promotions here. When the promotion is expired, we remove it from the platform. If you click here, you can see more details about the promotion, like start date, end date, and any other conditions that apply. Here we have the developer endpoints, which contain every detail that the developer would need to get started. In the API settings, you see the API documentation, the client ID, and client secrets. This is always unique for every account. For the client secret, you have the option to retrieve it if you feel that security has been breached from your side. You can retrieve it with your phone number, and you will receive a code via SMS. Then here we have the webhook. The webhook is an added function for airtime. We are definitely going to add other services, but for now we only have it for airtime.
This is for the business models or use case that don't want to keep waiting to receive the final response of the top-up. What's required to set up a webhook? You have to enter the endpoint, the URL you want to receive this very webhook. Once you've entered that, my URL, and I'll select the service. For now, like we earlier said, it's just the airtime, right? I'll select the event, then I would save. Doing this, I've been able to create a webhook. It's as easy as that. Meaning, when I make any async request, and I don't want to wait for the final response, I'm going to be getting those response on this URL. The details of the response on this URL, sent to this URL. So that's the way it works. So you don't need to always keep calling on your server side, or maybe sending so many requests to Reloadly. So with this webhook, whenever we have the final status, we will return it to you. You have the option to also disable the webhook or delete the webhook, right? The sample codes as well, you have the options to copy the sample codes of the webhook. Here we have several languages. Sample code, you have the option to switch. You have the Java, the Go, and it gives you like the sample code for each of this. You'll definitely be able to find more details of this in our documentation page. We've given like much more details on this part. When you go to developer tools and you go to webhook, you would see more details on how to set this up.
Here we have the plugin. For this part, you don't need to be a developer. You don't need to know how to write code. You just need to know how to copy the plugin ID into your website. So first, fill in the information about your website, the URL, the IP address of your server, and select the payment method you have. We're working on adding several other payment methods that will cover other regions. Then we have security. This is one of the most important tabs. We encourage you to set up your security as soon as possible. We encourage you to enable the two authentication factor so that you can log in the account with a set code from your mobile phone.
The advantage of that is that if someone have been able to get your username and password, but they've not been able to get your phone to access the Authenticator app, then they still will not be able to access your portal, right? So we advise all our users to enable this. We also have this IP whitelist. Whenever you set up an IP, this will protect your wallet. Even if whosoever, the hacker or whosoever have been able to gain access to your portal, they won't be able to make any purchase, right? Because we will only, when it comes to making a request that affects the wallet, we will be validating the IP that have been saved. In this case, I don't have any IP saved, but I could easily add an IP, name the IP, maybe my home IP or whatsoever I want to name it. Then what that will simply mean is top-ups will only be going through from that very IP. This is another security, right? You have the option to add several IPs as well, or delete as well, right? Then the other one is the mobile phone verification. We also have like another function whereby we return to you like a log of every activity that have been going on your account. For this very account, someone have logged in to this account from Spain, United States, Nigeria. These are all of the tracks of activities on this account. The next is the user role. For big companies that want to create teams, you don't want everyone to have access to the master account. You want to create like the team member access for the finance role as well as for the developers. You have the option to come here under user roles, select my user, then click on add users. You enter the team member name, the last name, the password you want for that team member, the email, the phone number, select the team member type, either the developer or the finance team member, then save. Be sure to copy the email and the password you must have used to create this, because it can't be changed for now. But in the future, we'll consider having the option to modify it. But for now, please be sure to copy the email and password and share with that team member, right? You have the option to create as many team members as you want. Also, aside the team members, we also have the reseller role. This is not a team member role. This is for businesses that maybe have several lockup stores, but they want to create several accounts as well for them. Once you create a reseller account, you will be able to, it's still the same flow, enter the name, password, and all of this. Then determine the discount configuration you want. Or you can configure this later, or give a custom percentage of your pricing or discounts and to the reseller, right? Once this is done, saved, copy the details and share. You can also enter the balance. Any balance entered here for the reseller will deduct it from your main account balance. Let's say I enter 50 here and I create a reseller. Once I create a reseller, I have the option to do some other things. Modify the pricing, delete the reseller, or whatsoever I so desire, right? I also have the option to view the reseller transactions. Here I can view the reseller transaction. I have the option as well to view the transfer histories. All the transfers I've been doing to the resellers, I can also see that here. You have the option to also switch from test mode to live mode, and it gives me like the test mode balance. The test mode is just like the system money. It's like a simulation of everything that happens on the live environment, as well as on the developer, the API. The credentials are also different. The live mode credentials is also different from the test mode credentials. If I switch this off, you will see that this is different as well.
And that's it for now. Thank you for watching and happy reloads.